In present times, Switzerland is renowned for its chocolate and neutrality. Situated amidst Italy, France, Germany, and Austria, this peaceful nation, recognized as the birthplace of the Red Cross, has maintained a positive reputation in recent history. When we think of Switzerland, we typically don't associate it with violence or political upheaval. However, it's important to explore the origins of Switzerland and how it became the country we know today. Switzerland, officially known as the Swiss Confederation, is a nation with 4 official languages, spanning 41,285 square miles and inhabited by roughly 8.6 million people. When we delve into its history, we discover that the formation of the Swiss Confederation occurred in multiple stages. In ancient times, the region now known as Switzerland was inhabited by the Helvetic Celts and later came under the rule of the Roman Empire. It subsequently passed through the hands of various Germanic tribes, Charlemagne, and the Holy Roman Empire. It was during this period that the first phase of the Swiss Confederation emerged, setting Switzerland on its path to nationhood. The initial stage was the establishment of the Old Swiss Confederacy. In 1291, 3 Swiss cantons within the Holy Roman Empire, namely Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden, formed an alliance in response to the destabilized environment surrounding them. Through a federal charter, these cantons agreed to manage common interests such as defense and the economy. While this wasn't the first such agreement, it holds significance as the starting point of Switzerland's modern journey, as acknowledged by historians and the Swiss state. The Old Swiss Confederacy rapidly expanded, and by the 15th century, the original 3 cantons had been joined by the city-states of Lucerne, Zurich, and Bern, as well as the cantons of Glarus and Zug. However, this expansion was met with resistance, particularly from the Austrians. Military conflicts between the Swiss Confederacy and Austria erupted intermittently in the latter half of the 14th century. These clashes were part of the ongoing strife between the Old Swiss Confederacy and the Duchy of Austria under the rule of Leopold III. The Swiss achieved remarkable victories, including the Battle of Naufels in 1388, which marked a turning point. In 1499, the Swabian War between the Swiss Confederacy and the Habsburgs of Austria and their Swabian League allies further solidified Swiss independence from the Holy Roman Empire. While the Swiss cantons remained part of the Holy Roman Empire officially for some time, their expansion continued. In 1501, 2 more cantons, Basel and Schaffhausen, joined the Confederacy. However, their growth experienced a setback in the events that followed in 1515. The Battle of Marignano in September 1515 demonstrated that the Swiss Confederacy was not invincible, as it suffered a crushing defeat against France and Venice. Nevertheless, despite this setback, the Confederacy persevered and faced a new challenge, the Protestant Reformation. The Reformation directly impacted the Swiss Confederacy, leading to significant divisions within the nation. Influenced by figures like Martin Luther in Germany, Zwingli, and Calvin, many Swiss embraced Protestantism, intensifying the rift between the newly Protestant Swiss and the remaining Catholics within the Confederation. This division resulted in the Wars of Kappel and later the Wars of Wilmergen. However, despite internal conflicts, the shared interests of the Confederacy members held the alliance together. By the mid-17th century, with the signing of the Treaty of Westphalia, the Swiss Confederacy achieved full independence from the Holy Roman Empire. This period of freedom was short-lived, as Napoleon's troops annexed the Swiss cantons in the late 18th century, establishing a centralized government under French rule. It took almost 2 decades until the Congress of Vienna in 1815 restored the original Confederacy and reconfirmed Switzerland's neutrality established in the Treaty of Westphalia. The Confederacy also admitted Valais, Neuchâtel, and Geneva during this time. After freeing itself from French control, the Swiss Confederacy faced internal conflicts between Catholics and Protestants, with the latter desiring a more unified federal state. Ultimately, the Protestants prevailed, and Switzerland became a more unified federal state with a new constitution in 1848. The constitution underwent revisions in 1874 and 1891, and minor amendments in 1999. This constitution and its amendments established referendum democracy and granted autonomy to the cantons, drawing inspiration from the United States Constitution. The Swiss constitution included notable clauses, such as the provision to rewrite the entire constitution if necessary and the prohibition of Swiss troops serving abroad except in the Holy See under Francis II of the Two Sicilies. The 1891 update emphasized direct democracy, solidifying its contents. Throughout the 20th century, Switzerland continued to shape itself as a unified nation and a prominent European political entity. While it stayed neutral in both world wars, Switzerland joined the Council of Europe in 1963 and became a full member of the United Nations in 2002. Although attempts to join the European Union failed, Switzerland maintains close ties with its neighboring EU countries and joined the Schengen area. Presently, the Swiss Confederation, or Switzerland, stands as a unified nation with approximately 64% Swiss German speakers, 22% French speakers, 8% Italian speakers, and the remaining Romansh speakers. Its constitution dates back to 1848, while some argue that the true origin of the nation can be traced back to 1291. The formation of Switzerland can be understood through a timeline that encompasses the establishment of the old Swiss Confederacy, subsequent expansion, independence from the Holy Roman Empire, centralization under Napoleon, re-establishment of the original Confederacy, civil war, and finally, the establishment of the modern Confederation and its constitution. However, the story of Switzerland's formation goes beyond the mere sequence of events. Initially, there was no strong desire for Switzerland to become a unified nation, and the rulers of the cantons were content with the structure of the old Confederacy. Their primary focus was attaining autonomy from the Holy Roman Empire and later from France. However, the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century played a crucial role in setting in motion the changes that would eventually lead to a unified state. The division caused by religious differences prompted the Protestants to push for unity and a federal government to bridge the divide. The subsequent war between the traditional Catholics and the liberal Protestants reinforced the necessity of unity and the benefits of a federal government in reconciling their differences.